you. How would you describe the bond between you two?
Well, I mean, that unconditional love, it's an unbreakable bond, and we've supported each other through various stages of our life. Not so much the teenage years. I was quite a wild teenager. But that's the thing. I suppose your family are the one person that you can be yourself in front of all the time, and they'll always support you.
Don't you find, though, Katie, it's when you become a mother yourself, you realise all the things that your mum did for you, the things you maybe put her through, that do you have guilt moments now where you go, oh, I can't believe I behaved like that to my lovely mum?
Well, when I had my first child, Belle, I think the first thing I said to you was, sorry, I get it, yeah, so...
And you talk about support there, and Diane, obviously, you had to support Katie through the most horrific time of her life, and I'm sure of yours, because you had to witness your daughter experiencing. When you got that call, what did you think you were expecting when you got to the hospital?
We just didn't really know what to expect because we weren't given enough information on the phone. We just heard that she'd been the victim of a chemical attack, which was very vague. So we really didn't know what to expect, which I think is why it was such a horrible shock when we did see what had happened to her.
And what greeted you when you saw her? What kind of condition was she in?
A person lying on the trolley with somebody seeing to her, and it was just a person. There was no way I didn't even realise it was Katie. She was just unrecognisable.
And how did you find the strength then to be there for her? Because that's a trauma for you as well, to witness that and watch your child go through that. But you had to be there to support her, her rock, she is often called you. How did you find the strength to do that?
Well, I couldn't have done it without Katie's dad, without David. You know, he was my support, I was his support, so it was a real team effort. But you just have to find the strength. We couldn't go under. She was in such a state. We couldn't go under. She needed us more than ever.
And did that keep you going, Katie? Having your mum just going, come on, you can do this?
Yeah, I think everyone can relate to when you can't do it for yourself, you do it for the people around you that are putting your needs first as well. And I think it's inspired me, you know, when anyone has anything life-changing happen, you have problems forever, you know, mental health problems, depression, anxiety. And I think in darker times on that recovery, I have used it as my sort of motivation and inspiration that they can get through that. And now being a mother, having children, I think, gosh, if my mum can face that, then I can do anything. So,
did you have to give some tough love sometimes?
Yes,
that's hard, isn't it?
Well, yeah, we did. We had to be quite strict with her, and you know, we didn't want her to develop into self-pity. So sometimes it was, come on, you can do it. You can get out there. No one's going to stare at you. Come on, do it. You can do it.
Well, this whole relationship has developed into this book, and it's called From Mother to Daughter, The Things I Would Tell My Child. And you've got 15 chapters, right? 15 headings here. What stands out for you, Diane, as the thing you would tell your child, or you think that people should tell your child? I'll ask you each that, because we've got everything from trauma to managing anxiety, the power of no, the teenage years, relationships. There's so much in there. What would you highlight? What would you choose?
Well, that's it. There are so many things you want to tell your child, isn't there? There's so many things you need to warn them about, things that you want them to do or not do. But I think be yourself, be resilient, be kind. I don't know, the list is endless, really, isn't it?
That's a good way to go forward into life, isn't it? Did you ever listen to your mum's advice? That's the other thing. When we're children, we think we know it all.
Oh, yeah.
And we never believe our parents have ever been teenagers or young people.
Yeah, I definitely think as a young adult, calling myself a young adult, I'm 34. As a woman now, I take my mum's advice on board wholeheartedly, especially asking her for advice with my children. But yeah, I think as a younger child, I was a lot more stubborn. And I think, you know, in the book we talk about you do have to let your children make their own mistakes and find their own way, because you can't live your life for somebody else. But I think in terms of what I tell my own daughters is something that I've learned in my recovery is that often our only barrier is ourselves. So when we feel pressures, you know, we compare ourselves to other people on social media or in our peer group, we can't look at people and say, I'll never be that, I'll never do this. We're all born with the same chance, and we are often our own barrier. You know, if we have low self-esteem or low confidence in our head, that's usually what's stopping us going forward.
Yeah, and that advice doesn't stop, because I notice the last chapter, chapter 15, is about adult daughters. So it's not as if we're just talking about children here. Yeah, what does that deal with, the adult daughters?
Well, I think for me, I didn't want to write another parenting book that was feeding, sleeping routines, because with 2 kids, I'm up to my eyes in those books. And I was thinking about what have me and Mum been through in real life. And obviously, you know, Mum took compassionate leave from her job. She looked after me and spent 2 years in hospital with me, then takes early retirement to enjoy herself, and sadly was diagnosed with cancer right after her retirement, weren't you?
A little bit before.
Yeah, fact check, sorry.
Get it right.
but yeah, but it's been more or less 4 years of sort of surgery and chemotherapy for you. So it is that full circle of when the daughter then looks after the mother, which I think lots of people experience as we get older as children.
The sandwich generation, it's called, yeah.